Hello guys and happy Tuesday. So today again we're going to be looking at my passive income report for April, and I'm not gonna lie, the numbers probably aren't as great as I thought it was going to be, and this is probably my worst month ever, but I really still wanted to be quite transparent and show you guys my numbers because I do think it's definitely a journey and I'm definitely here for the long term as well. So what we're going to be doing is of course go through some of the passive income streams that I have, but we're also going to deep dive into my YouTube analytics because I know a few of you do like that, and so we're going to be looking at how my channel has been doing in the month of April as well. So the first one I want to talk about is affiliate marketing. Now with affiliate marketing, if you're new to my channel and you didn't know, usually if I have like a link on my description or on my Instagram for example, and you click on that link and maybe you purchase something, then I'm likely to get a commission from that. Plus there's no additional cost to you. So if you look at my description, you will probably see there are some books that I usually tend to link, and those are affiliate links, but then there are other things like the sim contract that I use for example. So in the month of April I actually made £0. Now to be honest, I'm not actually too surprised at this because I've not really done any work when it comes to affiliate marketing. Usually I just leave my links in the description, so it's definitely something that I do want to start working on a bit more because a lot of people will come to me, you know, either asking about the books that I'm reading or, you know, the equipment that I'm using, and then I'll just tell them and forget that I actually have affiliate links that they could potentially just use and click on those links, and then I could get a small commission. So for me, I think it's definitely something that I need to work on and I haven't been working on, but £0 this month, so you know, a little bit disheartened, but I still think I can reach my goal by the end of the year. And if you didn't know, my goal is to reach £100 in affiliate marketing. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is when I was outlining my 2021 goals, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. I will link that up here for you and in the description below. But in terms of how I've done so far, it does mean that I've still only made £11.27. So you know, not too great, but I still have the rest of the year, so I'm holding on, and hopefully I will still reach my goal by the end of the year. So the next one I want to talk about is YouTube ad revenue. So if you currently watch my YouTube videos, then you will probably have seen some ads that tend to play usually at the beginning, sometimes throughout the video, and also at the end. So whenever you watch those ads, I also get paid for that. So in terms of how I did for April, it was actually slightly less than previous months. So I actually made £114.83, and that's exactly the money that will be coming into my bank account from Google AdSense. So if you didn't know, that's how I basically get paid from ads. So what I want to quickly do is go over through some of my YouTube analytics for April in case you are interested, and just see where the numbers are coming from and why I didn't get paid as much in April compared to March and February. So you can see that in the month of April I had 13.9 thousand views and my estimated revenue was about £114.86, but again looking at my Google AdSense, it's actually about £114.83, so a 3p difference, which obviously isn't too much. So if I take a look at what happened in March, I actually had a lot more views. So I had 16.9 thousand views compared to April, which was only about 13,000. So you can see the drastic difference, and obviously I did make more in March, and I also had more subscribers in March as well. So with April, I think it was definitely a quiet month. This was definitely my worst month to date in 2021, I think. So 13.9 thousand views, which I'm still actually really grateful for, to still even get 13,000 views in the first place. But obviously when you do compare it to March and February, it's slightly less. So I wanted to take a quick look at my top videos in this period. So what you can see is that my #1 video still continues to be a video where I talk about how I save over £1,000 a month. So that is something that I posted all the way back in July, so it's probably going to be coming up to a year now, and that is still driving me traffic. I've also got one which actually I posted in April, which is doing quite well, and that's my £10 a week food budget challenge. And don't worry, I'm going to be doing more budget challenge videos in the future as well, so definitely make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so that you don't miss out. And whilst you're down there, you may as well give me a thumbs up because it really does support the channel. But anyway, my next popular video is my net worth and budget update video, and again I posted that in April. And then also I've got another budget video which actually I only posted in November, so that's been a few months, but that is still driving me traffic. Now what is interesting about this is I can kind of tell what my audience likes. So you can see that my top videos are basically either saving or budgeting videos, which I do actually think is hilarious. So my first one is obviously saving, the next one's budget, next one's budget, saving, and then a bit about my career story, which is kind of like an outlier to be honest. But yeah, I think it's just really interesting that my top 6 videos are basically around saving and budgeting, which is, yeah, very interesting for me. So in case you are interested, I'm just going to go over to reach, and so this really talks about where my traffic is coming from. So in terms of impressions, if you didn't know, I'm just going to click here. Impressions are basically how many times your video thumbnails were shown to viewers. So whenever, you know, you see it on the homepage or suggested, this is really how many times YouTube is actually showing my video thumbnails. So my impressions were about 208,000, although that is currently down 19% compared to the last month, but my impressions click-through rate is actually up by 6%. And if you didn't know what a click-through rate means, it's basically how many times YouTube shows your video thumbnail to someone, and then it calculates how many people choose to actually click on that video. So you can see that my impression click-through rate is up by 6%, which is great, but my views are currently down, obviously, compared to last month, and my unique viewers are also down compared to last month as well. And then I just quickly wanted to show you guys my traffic source type. So if you didn't know, most of my traffic is actually coming from YouTube search. So this is really, if people search something, I'm likely to come up and they click on my video. That's really where my traffic is coming from. But then also browse features as well. So a lot of that is really to do with the homepage. So whenever you're just scrolling through YouTube and you come across my video and you watch it, that's also how I gain some traffic. And then the same with suggested videos. Whenever you've like watched a video, and then if there are suggested videos that come up on the screen and you click on that, that's obviously something that's driving me traffic. And if I go towards my traffic source in terms of YouTube search, so these are really the terms that people are searching for, and then they're actually finding my videos. A lot of it is basically budgeting and saving, which again is probably why my videos are more popular when it talks about budgeting and saving, because a lot of people that are searching for it, my videos are coming up and they're therefore watching it. And then I quickly just wanted to take a look at my revenue. So you can see that my revenue is currently down about 23%. My RPM is also down. So again, RPM is really based on how much I earned per 1,000 views. So that's again per 1,000 people that watch my ads. And then CPM is actually the total. So that's including YouTube's cut. So you can see that my CPM has also gone down by 4%. But actually, when you look at the month, it doesn't really tend to fluctuate too much. And you can see that my top earning videos as well were, of course, how I save over £1,000 a month. So I generated about £22 for the month of April, which was cool. And then also slightly less is my net worth and budget update for about £6. My food budget challenge as well for about £6. 5 reasons why you're not saving money was about £5, and personal finance basics for beginners was also about £5. But actually, if you look at the monthly estimated revenue, you can see that obviously in December I didn't make anything because I actually wasn't monetized at that time. But in January I made £146, February slightly less, March slightly more, even though I did get less views. I do actually mention that in my March passive income report, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. I will link that up here for you and in the description below. But then obviously in April you can see there's quite a big difference, so there is a bit of a dip there. But you know, it's okay. I think with YouTube it's not always going to be a straight line or you're always going to grow. Sometimes there are going to be dips, so clearly I have seen that in April. Hopefully, I mean, over the next few months it will increase maybe slightly, although I am just thinking whether things like personal finance is really kind of seasonal based, because I feel like in summer people aren't really going to be thinking about money just in terms of, you know, lockdown easing up and everyone wanting to go out. But I may be wrong. I do think it will be interesting to see how that sort of goes, but I do have a feeling that maybe during the summer months I will have a few low months, and then hopefully it will start to pick up in the autumn time. So that's kind of where my thinking is going. We'll just have to see if that is true, but yeah, I'm still going to keep going regardless. So in terms of how I've done so far, it means that up to date, in terms of what I've made with my YouTube ad revenue, I have made about £556.20. So I have now finally passed the £500 mark. I do wonder how long it's going to take me to get to the £1,000 mark, but of course we will see over the next few months. So the next one I want to talk about are my paid products. So if you didn't know, I currently have 2 budget templates, and so these are the only paid products I currently have at this moment. So I have a weekly and a monthly budget template, and it really includes your net worth statement in the front, and it's also got a sinking funds calculator, and then also your budget for the next 12 months as well. So if you do want to check that out, you can find that on my Etsy store. Of course, I'll link that in the description below for you. But in terms of April, it was again a slightly lower month, so I did make about £21.84. Now I think with Etsy, what's interesting is I haven't necessarily tried to rank much in Etsy search. A lot of the traffic and the people that do buy my spreadsheets are actually really people that watch my YouTube videos. So I'm trying to think actually in the future if this is something that I should really be focusing on, trying to actually rank in search for Etsy, and then just seeing how I go and just seeing actually if that really does make a difference in terms of my budgeting templates. But then also at the same time, I do think it's also a seasonal thing. because I feel like in January and February, those kind of beginning months, a lot of people are going to want to be budgeting. And then when you start to get to the summer months, people aren't really bothering about budgeting, or at least I wasn't really thinking about money or budgeting a few years ago. So hopefully, I mean, I will start to get a bit more sales, but I do think that it's probably going to dip a bit more during the summer months and then hopefully pick up during the autumn months. But again, in terms of how I've done so far, I have made £217.15. So I think again my goal was about £1,000 by the end of the year. Again, not sure if I will hit it, but again, my fingers are crossed. I definitely need to do a bit more work on that, so hopefully I can do that over the next few months. And then the next passive income streams, I guess, is really free shares. So again, with free shares, it's quite difficult because I mainly use Trading 212, and they're obviously still putting people on a wait list, so of course I'm not able to get free shares there, and so I'm only able to get it from FREETRADE. And I don't really tend to use FREETRADE too much. It's something where I just really wanted to test out the platform and see if I could recommend it to people. So in terms of how I did for April, I made about £10.41, which means how I've done so far this year in free shares is about £321.86. And again, the majority of that came from Trading 212 earlier this year, so hopefully they will open up soon, although it has been a few months, but we will see. Again, make sure you're always doing your research with platforms like this because they're not always going to be for everyone. So in total, how I basically did for April, I actually made £147.08. And again, that is slightly low compared to March. So in March I did make about £234.19, so just under £100 difference. So this is definitely my lowest month, I think, but you know, again, there's going to be dips, there's going to be peaks, so I do think it's just something where I still have to keep going. I think the one thing I would say is, again guys, if you are looking to generate passive income streams, just know that it's not going to happen overnight. Okay, you're not going to be generating thousands of pounds every single month just within like a couple of days. For me, it just doesn't happen like that. I will tell you now from experience that it really does take time, and you do also have to put an element of work before you actually generate some of those passive income streams. And even with dividend stock investing, ideally you would probably want to do a bit of research before you start investing your money and generating the dividends. But you know, I think it's something where if you're really focused on the long term, it's definitely something that you can build up over time. Also, I would say if you are looking to generate income at least online, then you can maybe think about focusing on active income as well as passive income. So that's definitely something that I'm doing, because I do know that passive income is probably going to take a couple of years to really take off, whereas at least with active income I can generate a bit of money. So definitely watch this space over the next few months, because you will then start to hear about that as well. So if you did like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, are you currently generating any passive income streams? I do post every Tuesday and Friday, so if you would like to know more, then of course you can subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on Friday.